Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have an exciting community raid day today because this is the final XSpace Bioprotocol is hosting before their token generation event tomorrow. They already have the space. There's already 500 people listening to the space. Today, as you know, is Thursday, thus it is community raid day. So each and every one of you guys better have your shill hats on because we are going to be shilling DeSci in the pinnacle of DeSci spaces right now. As you guys see in the thumbnail, I view this as but the bio token is the index fund for decentralized science. It is the blue chip of DeSci. It's going live tomorrow, and you can see there are a lot of eyes here. And so you guys better all be warmed up, have your coffee in hand. We have a lot of raiding to do. We're gonna raid the hell out of this X space. Good morning, MK. What's going on, Don? How's it going, Steven? Elser's here. MK, I think I already said good morning to MK. He was the first person there. Nil is here. Beagle's here. Thuna's here. Spectruth's here. Oh man, no, we even made the live stream today. Steve the Canadian. Let's go. Zaj, good morning. Good morning. I shall erectus Dow, says Truth. Bullish. Doesn't matter what you guys shill, just shill. We're here to shill. All right, let me put my headphones on and plug these in. I'm sure they're just doing the intros right now, so it is quite all right if we are a second late. Hopefully everything works out beautifully here on this, and it is a seamless and smooth raid. Oh shit, Camille just gifted 5 memberships. That is a huge W. W. Welcome, Brandon. Let's see who it gives it to. Welcome, Robert. Welcome, Robert. Welcome, David and Rob. And I don't know how to pronounce this name. And Ping. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's start listening to the space. Let's see. You guys aren't picking it up right now.
Hey guys, I'm
There
up
we go.
next. My name is James. For those that don't know me, I'm the science lead. I've got a background in chemistry and material sciences. Been in the DeSci space for a few years now. Yeah, I'm just super thrilled for everything that's been happening. It's been incredible to see, a cohort one DAOs come to life and to see the incredible science that they funded.
Okay, so
At
they're
the end
just
of
going through
last
and
year,
doing
you guys
intros
saw
right
an
now.
incredible explosion and opportunity with quantum
Square
biology
away our
DAO.
expectations
We
and
have a couple of
assign
new
roles
DAOs
and
that
responsibilities here
you
because
already know of,
yes,
Long
this
COVID
is an
Labs,
exciting call to
Utopia,
have.
that are
There's a lot
absolutely
of cool
crushing
things we
it,
can talk
and
about.
will come soon.
DeSci right now is
And then,
up
as Paul
8%.
mentioned,
I think
we have a
DeSci
whole
memes
host
are
of
up even
other DAOs that we
crazier
are
right now.
developing
DeSci
and that
memes
you'll
are up
hear from in the
62%,
coming
which
weeks.
is nuts.
So
The
we just
DeSci
had
token
so
for
much science
the
that we've
AI
been
agent
accelerating,
launchpad on
and that will
Sui, that's
continue
up
to get accelerated.
35% again after a monstrous
I feel
rally the
like
other
my
day as well. So we have a
inner
lot of
child that
crazy
I'm
things.
building this
Noble
for,
Blocks up
back when I was a chemist,
75%
and I
today.
wish that I
That's
had these
bullish.
kind
We're
of tools
back
when
up
I was
to a
doing
penny.
research in
Thank God.
academia.
Thank God we bounced
Is like
here.
super
Actually,
exciting.
thank
And
Hamson. But we got
ultimately,
30
we're here to serve
concurrent
scientists
viewers right now.
and
Somehow only 9 likes.
give
So
them the
before
best
we actually
opportunity
commence the
to
raid,
accelerate
we're going to
their
have to
cutting edge
boost those
breakthrough
likes up.
ideas
Come
and
on,
make an
guys.
impact in the world,
Come
bring
on. We got to
community
like
and
the
patients
live
with
stream.
them.
Please.
And I could
That's
not
the
be more
only
proud
metric I
of the
have.
work that we've done and all the incredible impact that is coming as well. Super exciting times.
It's too loud right now. All right, I'll turn myself down a little.
Cool.
How's
Nate,
that?
I think I was next on your list. But
Oh,
yeah,
is
thanks
it
for having
still
me.
playing
Benji here
stuff
from Pump
despite me
Science.
having muted it?
We are basically a research experiment launching, starting off with longevity experiments. But yeah, the idea is to make Pump Science, a much more general.
Okay. For some reason, even though it wasn't playing through my speakers, it was playing through your guys' speakers. So that I just paused the space.
But yeah, I'll give you guys a huge shout out. I think it's going to be big, not only for the bio community and also like the Pump Science community.
Oh.
We're about to see a new meta totally unfold. And it's just so cool to be at the center of it. Such an honor. But yeah, thanks for having us.
That was from Pump Science. So Pump Science is
Cool,
going to
Maddie,
benefit
you
a
wanna go?
lot from this.
Monty from Zebra. Thanks for having me.
I actually remember being on a space with him, and he sounded very bearish on memes in DeSci. So I'm gonna pause for his part and try and reset a little bit of what I had said, because I know that there were two things playing at the same time, and it was a little bit too much for everyone. So MK says Data Lake has bounced strong bullish. It's about time. Good thing you bought Riff and Euro. Also very bullish. So Riff and Euro are set to really benefit from bio. So a brief intro before we really commence the raid. I meant to go live a couple minutes before noon, but I was unable to click the go live button. But Bio Protocol is kind of like the basket index fund for the bio DAOs that are being launched from their launchpad. So Bio Protocol is a DAO which governs a lot of the other DAOs, right? And so it's acting like an index fund or a basket fund of representation within those DAOs. So back in like August, I took all of the tokens for all the DAOs that I had, and I just put all of them into the bio pre-sale at an $85 million market cap. I think it was like 2 cents per token or something. Now we're looking in pre-market, so the day before it actually goes live for trading, that the bio token looks like it's worth around $1 plus or minus 10, 20 cents. What's 20 cents to $1 in crypto, right? Things are looking very exciting for the bio launch. The market is looking alive and well. Everything in DeSci is gaining a ton of attention, and it appears that they were talking about some AI agents from Bio Protocol. So things are going to be looking pretty juicy here, which is probably a good reason why Bill was pumping like a madman yesterday. Look at that. Bill hit all the way up at $9 million market cap. So we are sitting very pretty in that one as well, but let's go ahead and see what they're talking about. As soon as I see Maddie no longer talking and is done with his intro, we're going to commence. Now, I'm going to post this into the chat here, okay? So this is the post that we're rating right now. I'm going to pin that message. What we're going to do, don't join it yet. What we're going to do is we're going to come in here and see this bottom right hand corner, this little speaker thing. We're going to click on that, and it will bring you to the post which they have tied to the space. You're going to like it, of course. You can repost it if you want to, but you're going to do exactly what Dawn is doing here, what Thuna did here. It doesn't have to be for Bill Nye, right? We don't have to be shilling Agent Bill if you don't want to, but you need to just spam this with real comments. But we want to raid this post and make sure that they know who is sending them, right? Make sure that they know there's some representation from DeSci Shillers, so they see the engagement boost happening and don't think we're all just bots. So we can shill Bill if we want to. I could go have Bill join the space, but he won't be able. It'll just be me pretending to be Bill. But it'll be kind of funny if he did that. If you want DeSci narratives, get more eyes, check out Agent Bill Nye. Facts, Dawn, facts. Shill Marie too. No. Marie is the competition. No, we cannot shill Marie. But I'm going to go ahead and unpause the space now and hear what it is they're saying, because I do imagine this is going to be full of alpha. This space is going to be absolutely full because their TGE is happening tomorrow, so they'll tell us some good things.
The last couple months of DeSci, there's obviously been lots of hype. There's also been a lot of building and a lot of projects coming to fruition. I think it's been fueling that hype. Andrew from Mechanism on the Line has talked about how kind of reminds him of early days of DeFi. Paul, you've also discussed that. So kind of any major lessons learned from the past couple months, and also lessons learned from our early DeFi days that we should consider, and generally kind of how do we turn this sort of mind share that we've accrued in the past couple months into sort of sustainable value and projects. So Matt, Mark, Roland, if any of you guys want to chime in.
Sure, I can do. So
Marie was from Poland. Yeah.
Thing to see, because I mean there's so many things that one can sort of like
lot of
crypto is 90% almost of it is
there's a lot of DeSci people in Poland, so I'm not surprised at all. I know that's where Mac is from. I know that's from Axon. I know that Germany is Molecule's HQ. I know that a lot of the regulations are more clear over there, so I'm not surprised that we have a Polish DeSci agent just popped up. Thuna, facts. 834 holders is bullish.
Simplistic. So these negatives, but there are people down working.
She's got more holders than us.
Substance, but there is substance, and it's sort of like met with this demand for people sort of investing in things that potentially might have impact, because I've realized that many people who sort of made it in crypto or made some money in crypto would also like to feel that they're invested in something with I don't want to say with real impact, or maybe say more tangible impact than. And DeSci is an attractive vertical to those who feel like they don't have to be fully allocated to only those lucrative zero-sum games. So, I think we cannot underestimate the memetic side or the degen side of this.
They did not.
As it seems it'll play a key role in bootstrapping DeSci, but it'll have to slowly be balanced by these sort of bottom-up things. So sort of the delivery, if you will. And I think that we need to. I think we're.
$180,000 market cap. Do we pump Marie? Most common Patrickism is no, Zach. No, Zach. Good morning, Hover. If you own Lake, you're a very happy person today. This is true.
Really small crowd. It was like sort of with, I don't say idealistic views, but it was a part of it. I was excited. It wasn't like talk about, sort of like price or whatnot. And then like this summer, I give talk in Buenos Aires to like DeSci Latin to like 6 people or whatever in the crowd. It was.
Oh, they follow me.
It definitely felt like 2016 and whatnot. So for me that is the best analogy, but it's definitely imperfect.
They've reposted the
If I can quickly jump into that, I've given over the past years, I've given talks to rooms that like literally had like 3 or 4 people in them. And I think a lot of it is like, I think what you say is right, Maddie. I think a lot of it is almost reminiscent of, I don't know if some of you folks have seen Andreas Antonopoulos give some of his early talks about.
I would like to just say for 1 second with this agent that the agent does not have capabilities to repost things, which means that this person is going into the account and reposting things, which is fine. I just wanted to say that out loud. That I see there's no like button, there's nothing to turn on reposts for the creator bid agents. Maybe they got early access to a feature I don't know about, maybe, but this is most likely a person reposting it, which is fine.
Beginning to understand the ideologies behind it, but also the tech, I think, maturing to a point where that ideology actually translates into real use cases, into actual on-chain.
Can you guys hear it, or is it no?
DeSci is still a really nascent and also I think risky field to kind of get active in. But,
risk.
To that point, high risk.
There's no such thing as risk in crypto.
And I think we're just at the beginning of like seeing that play out. But yeah, really well said. I hope the next kind of DeSci conferences will be significantly more busy, but also hopefully busy with the right people. I think something that's really needed are actually like DeFi native developers coming into the space more kind of Web3 community builders, marketing builders. That's something that we're really actively looking for at Bio Protocol, to be able to pair folks that have really deep Web3 native experience
I don't see anyone
with
showing
patients and
Dynex as
scientists
the
that are
AI
now
play for
actively coming
DeSci.
into the space
Bullish, David.
and kind of looking for that expertise.
Bullish, Sarah. Let's go. Someone said drugs. If you're looking into DeSci,
I think, thank you, Paul, for sharing
it
that.
seems
I
like
think
one of you
also
guys.
just from like a market perspective, it's still quite early to this category. I mean, I did a quick scan of kind of Cato earlier today and looking at just the mind share of decentralized science versus other categories. It's like 2% as of today, where like
too
AI,
much at
for
once.
example,
Let's go.
is kind of peaking around 60%. Total market cap is like $1 billion versus the AI category of $50 billion. So I think they're still very early to this, and I think the market is just waking up to it. I think the launch of Bio could be an interesting catalyst for more mind share to be focused on the space, and then with more capital, more liquidity, more interesting actual fundamental developments can happen.
Whoever called out Pythia or whatever yesterday.
Go ahead, Roland.
Yeah, on my side, I think that hype and momentum and mindshare is essential to kickstart a narrative, or let's say a niche of protocols, but that doesn't necessarily mean that these protocols would have sustainable long-term value accrual. And I think that Bio is having perfect timing right now in terms of being focused investor on DeFi, capturing a lot of return change more or less. Also needs of people to use the long-term architecture. I have the opportunity to launch an architecture and been proven to be super successful in the last couple of months with an NIV and a community-oriented approach to fundraising for long-term sustainable future. And what I would see around quantify, see reports and cool opportunities for people to invest in, and that captures all of the, let's say, the degen mindshare and the degen appetite for investment, but it also taps into the more institutional appetite as well. And more people will start researching these opportunities, but you also have more investors that are willing to use alternative fundraising sources that would
That's me.
out of their reach in more institutional ways. Maybe they're too small.
DeSci's coming together as a whole. It's cool to see all these projects help each other. That's the whole goal, right? The whole goal is for everyone to help everyone, because a win for any of the DeSci projects, as you can see, is a win for all of them. Bio launching is pumping the entire market. What time is Bio launch and how it will be on both Solana and ETH? We're going to find out today, Sarah. Hopefully in the space they talk about it in a few minutes. Is this going to be at like 5 a.m. EST? Going to have to set an alarm? I don't know. We'll have to see. But you guys already got in. Like everyone in here right now already got into this back in the first round in August, and then probably the second round in November or October, whatever the month was. So you guys are already in this thing. Mudo launch on MEXC. That should be bullish as well. Hack is up again. I think everything is up. Quite literally everything is up. It's a crazy, crazy time in the market. Things
How do you
are
describe
getting
it to
beautiful.
Your friends if you're shilling it or talking about it? What is like the real value proposition that you
I can
think
answer
Bio
this so easily.
introduces?
I answer this on a daily cadence. Wonderful question. Thank you so much for asking that, Nate. I think the value proposition to Bio is that it acts as an index fund for all of the Bio debt. I'm in the middle of talking,
Mark,
Nate.
or Roland,
What the hell?
If you guys have any thoughts on it.
It's an umbrella. It's an index fund, guys. It's an index fund for DeSci.
Too. Feel free.
It's very easy.
Why don't I go for the first one then? So for me,
it's exposure to all of it
describe
without having to pay attention.
Scientists is essentially them being able to work with the community to bring their dreams to life. Instead of you needing to convince a top-down bureaucracy that what you're working on is valuable and that it fits their agenda, instead you can turn to Team Internet. And Team Internet is internet native. They're truth-seeking by default. They are curious and they're fast-moving. They can make a decision around what they think is valuable,
it looks beautiful.
what they want to work with, far more nimbly, and I would say in a far more decentralized way than the traditional top-down.
So MJ, the reason why I honestly hate when projects list on centralized exchanges, like when you go out of your way and pay a centralized exchange to list you like MEXC, you're giving them a potentially up to like $5 to $10 million worth of tokens for the exchange to sell. So if the price is much lower on MEXC, it is likely because the exchange is tanking the price. Now, I don't have any proof of that right now. It's just a trend I've seen with a few projects that I've worked with and a few horror stories I've heard. I don't have any proof of that, but when you go for these exchange listings, at this cycle so far, the meta I've seen is that you want to stay away from the centralized exchange listings.
Underlying DAOs that are focused on DeSci. So if you wanted
That's cool,
to
MJ. That's good
make,
then.
An investment overall in the category because you felt like maybe you didn't understand specific
That's bullish then,
compounds that are being
MJ.
worked
So
on,
maybe
or
that's not what's
specific
happening
problems that are
for
being
Mudo then.
targeted by an individual DAO, say like a hair DAO, which is maybe one of the most actually understandable of the bunch for the individual investor in crypto markets. I think that you could look at it as investing across the entire spectrum of DeSci tokens, with it supported by a team that's been in it from the beginning, that understands deeply the market.
Bill is gaining a good chunk of followers right now. I saw just roughly 10 new followers, probably because we're shilling the hell out of them underneath this space, and there's 700 people listening.
If A16Z was an ETF that was investing in sort of like biotech R&D tokenized, and all the incentives were aligned with the token, I guess that's
yeah, and
that's like
too much at once. That's a blanketed statement. Nothing is blanketed, so just take that into account too. But broadly speaking, it's been choppy for small projects to list on centralized exchanges.
Let's keep moving. So the bio token is obviously going live tomorrow,
Okay.
and we'll hopefully welcome in thousands, tens of thousands, hopefully,
hundreds of thousands,
new
millions.
bio holders. Would love to hear from Paul. Paul, I know you and I were speaking about this earlier today, about what's kind of our vision for what people can do with bio. How do we see bio token holders playing a sort of key role in the ecosystem, whether it's curation, funding, liquidity, meta governance? Can you just walk us through the role of bio holders and how potentially people can use bio?
Yeah, of course. So kind of with the upcoming protocol and launchpad deployment, so we do take that to help. So by having said that, still like this is not I think for this long. They can also have downloads, so they but they can also
Facts.
So we see bio token holders play an active role in helping curate what gets listed on this launchpad. Later on, what you can also do then is you can use Bio for liquidity pairings, and you can earn on Solana or on Base, or if there's liquidity pairing on ETH mainnet, you can then of course earn from those liquidity pools that get created. The way that Bio is designed here is, at least from a later stage liquidity perspective, is not too dissimilar in the way that Virtual actually designed some of their launchpad mechanics and liquidity pairing. Just that in our case, one of the fundamental differences is that once a Bio DAO is on one of these bonding curves and kind of is traded through the launchpad initially, that the capital raised through that bonding curve is partially actually used to fundraise into that DAO. So the DAO can gradually unlock liquidity that is raised through this bonding curve. And once it gets to the top of the leaderboard, there's then a process that kicks in to actually automatically deploy an AMM pool. And actually the Bio that was bonded initially is used to then later on deploy that liquidity pool. And we think that this is a really nice value-aligned design that also takes Bio out of active circulation, meaning that the more Bio DAOs get listed on the launchpad, the more support utility model. Beyond that, Bio is actually used for So we that Bio is out. Sorry, Nate. I hope that didn't get too complex, but I kind of wanted to get into like what is the really long-term play here, and I actually think we had the analogy to DeFi earlier, and that is in the ecosystem, right? I think tokens in DeSci is that you're actually governing a portfolio of real-world assets. You're governing a portfolio of underlying IP, and even if the liquidity leaves for whatever reason, you're still left with governing something that has fundamental value to society. And so, yeah, that's why I know governance tokens have been criticized a lot. I think the DeSci space was that, hey, like this is
Thanks
not
for joining on, man.
permissionless.
Appreciate it.
It's just governance rights. However, I really think that governance rights here are fundamentally very valuable because we're talking about governing IP. Yeah.
That was good. There was a reason I wasn't talking. I wanted you guys to hear that explicitly.
Well, Maddie, Mark, I know you guys have to jump soon. Any kind of high-level reactions to how you're thinking about bio as a token, utility token, and anything Paul said? If not, no worries. We can move on. Also, Roland, feel free to chime in if anything comes to mind there too.
Mods. I also drew it in 2028, Zach.
Experience in the biotech space is what he said there at the end with regards to governance tokens still having governance over real world assets. This is extremely, extremely important because in the real world, I should say outside of crypto, traditionally biotech deals are done all around intellectual property. Entire companies and startups are acquired based on their intellectual property portfolio. And these are often pieces of drugs that are brought through certain stages of the FDA development pipeline, in which case they may get acquired for hundreds of millions or billions of dollars. And so what the incredible innovation here is that the upside, the value of how that IP gets used and where it goes is now owned by a collective of individuals through this governance token. And what's uniquely special about this is for the first time, we can actually give patients who are suffering from the diseases that they are helping to cure a say in how the results or the cures that they develop get used. This is unheard of, and there's no better stewards for resources and for the results of the impact or a cure for their disease than the people who suffer from it first. And so this, to me, is an incredible opportunity to bring in people who have been underserved and actually give them power that the traditional structures have taken.
Okay, so it was a little bit longer than just what Paul was saying, but were you guys listening closely to what Paul was saying? And then after I go on this little mini rant for a second, I am going to give kind of my thoughts on what's going to happen with the bio launch tomorrow. I'll give you guys my thoughts on what I'm expecting. Is the outdoor leaf blower dude back? Did he follow me from Florida? That motherfucker. So Paul was saying there that the bio token, the way that it's set up is to give you a say in which of the bio DAOs actually get funding and get created. So for example, Quantum Biology DAO is one of the DAOs that recently just got created, funded and created from Bio Protocol's launchpad. So Bio Protocol, again, acting as if it is the Y Combinator for the DeSci biotech DAOs. The city sewage is here. And so Bio Protocol, the token, is a DAO token in which you stake and offer up your bio tokens to help with the liquidity pools for the launch of these bio DAOs. So thus taking some of the bio tokens out of circulation and locking them into liquidity pools in order to raise funds to make science more liquid. So the rare diseases one, or the quantum biology DAO, or the long COVID DAO, the three that they're launching here very shortly, those are all going to be DAOs that this model takes into effect. And so the Bio Protocol token acts as an index fund in which you get exposure into governance over all of the DAOs that are created. And then it is also a funding mechanism for creating liquidity for these protocols. So they're going to be taking tokens out of circulation in order to vote for these things, and they're also going to be acting again as that index fund for the entire space. So with that being said, while he was talking, I was going through and I was looking at the market caps of a lot of these bio protocol tokens. And what I was seeing was we got Vita DAO at 120 million, we got Hair DAO at 60 million, we got Athena DAO at 9 million, we got Valley DAO, I think was like 12 million or something like that. So we have probably a combined market cap of 200 million, $250 million. And yet the Bio Protocol, last time I looked, was trading upwards in the realm of 3 billion. And so there will obviously be a hype premium. And I don't know exactly how much that hype premium is going to be for the bio token, because it's got the backing from Binance Labs and it's getting listed directly on Binance, and it's got a Solana token. So all those things are going to create a premium that this is going to trade at due to hype. Its fundamental value is probably closer down to about $500,000 if I was to take a rough guess. And so at launch, I would not be surprised to see the token tank down pretty aggressively, and then find its base and build up from there, and rapidly, I think, reclaim. I think it'll rapidly reclaim the pricing that it launched at and go much higher than just the $3 billion. But I do think at launch, we're going to see a big red candle. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I really, really hope I'm wrong with that. But something along the lines of what we saw with like Hempy is too big of an example. I don't think it's going to do what Hempy did as far as its collapse, right? But a lot of the IP tokens kind of do stuff like this, in which they launch, have a giant spike, dump down a lot, build out a floor, and then start the climb. And this is like wildly undervalued in my opinion, but I think we'll see something similar to that. If you go look at like Overia, I think it was, it's got that initial launch, spike, dump, find the floor, start climbing. I think it's going to look pretty similar to this. If we keep, what's another one? Damn, my brain's racking. We go to Vita. It's not VitaFast. No, it is VitaFast. VitaFast looks very similar to it as well, where when it initially launched, okay, this is not the full chart. When it initially launched, it spiked, tanked, and then continued. Maybe Vita RNA will have it. You guys get my drift with it? I think this is what the chart will look like roughly for it. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Claw was one. Thank you. Thank you, Nil. I don't know that Claw had the same spike and tank though. Yeah, it did. They all have it. They literally all have it. We'll see what happens. But that's, if I had to guess, that's what my guess would be, because it is trading at a pretty high hype premium.
We've been investing really heavily into DeSci AI agent infrastructure. And these are not your typical agents that kind of have a Twitter account and
I don't know,
post
MJ.
about cool science. We're going to do that too, but having much more useful agents, useful in the scientific context, that can review research proposals, that can gather papers, that can help in formulating IP agreements, that can help make governance proposals around funding a specific piece of research and why it should be funded.
Bullish use cases.
That can kind of collate
very
reviews,
bullish
even
agents.
like AI
Truly.
agents that can produce their own scientific reviews of a project when they come in. And so actually we've been thinking through deeply through the different bottlenecks that BioDAOs face today and how DeSci-centric AI agents can come in there. We're going to post a much larger roadmap around this mid-year. We also, sorry, not mid-year, mid this month. We also just made an amazing hire. Sean, he was announced, or like he made an announcement, I think about 1 or 2 days ago. He was an early hire at MakerDAO, one of the core developers there, and has actually been working on AI agents over the past 2 years. So really excited that he joined us. To come back to my point, though, I think we're really underestimating how an more open, permissionless launchpad, where you can have a lot of DAOs being built in parallel in live time, could massively accelerate the space. We have
Hey, my mom. Everyone go follow my mother, please. The CDC and me.
Decided to work with these teams and really help them accelerate. And then, yeah, as a last point, I think a launchpad like this, the goal of the design is actually to enable teams that, let's say, really can hit all of their milestones towards the launch and very quickly catalyze a community. Instead of having them run kind of accelerator-like system that takes, like, let's say 4 to 6 months.
Oh, who was the first one?
These teams can actually get to the top of the leaderboard and become autonomous within weeks, right? Why not list on a launchpad like this and run through it in 2 or 3 weeks? Conversely, I think there are other teams maybe that
Sorry, hold on. They're talking.
Organize a decentralized clinical trial.
No, don't make a coin with my mom.
Like complex patient or scientific.
Make an AI agent for Andy Sullivan.
They might take longer, right? And so we think a launchpad design like this can really, I think, just unlock a much larger amount of communities and DAOs to launch in parallel. And that's why, yeah, I'm super excited that we're moving into this new design space. Maybe as a last point, we're also, I think this was mentioned previously, but just to reiterate, we're like Bio is really is taking a multi-chain approach. We're chain agnostic, and in fact, we feel that different chains can add a ton of different value to different DeSci communities. So the bio token is bridging
means actually
from
money.
ETH layer 1 over to Solana as early as next week. And then I think the following weeks we're also bridging over to Base. And then the actual bio launchpad will be deployed both on Solana and on Base. And yeah, we think this is really actually beneficial for different communities to be able to frolic and grow on different chains. Just because I think the time preference for capital can be very different on different chains. Like the things that we've launched on Solana, they have grown. I mean, Benji and Pump Science can speak to this. I think they will in just a moment. Have grown so quickly. Massive shout out here to all the Euro and Rift supporters, and also a big shout out to all the future tokens that will launch. And then conversely, we've seen this enormous kind of raise and enormous community support for Quantum BioDAO, which actually raised on ETH layer 1, where you just have a different set of people, like someone who will deploy $500,000 into the future of quantum biology research has a really long time frame because they know quantum will take decades to come to fruition. And so yeah, we're really taking a multi-chain approach here, which yeah, I think is really important. Cool. I'll stop there, and I see actually Ethan has his hand up. If he wants to chime in.
Yes, just wanted to very quickly chime in. Don't worry, I'm not going to show my token, but I wanted to double click on the point
He
that
just did,
Paul
though.
and James made about IP governance rights in the biotech space. I mean, that is the coin of the realm. And I've just seen time and time again where patient communities get rugged by TradBio because they didn't have any rights over the IP. And so when a rare disease program stopped being cool or stopped being hot and gets dropped, then those patient communities that did all of that early de-risking work, all of that enabling work, they just get left out in the cold. So that's really, I think, the heart of the problem we're trying to solve here and what Web3 really promises for community medicines. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks.
Well, Ethan, actually, can you just maybe shill Curetopia for a sec? Because I know we have your launch coming up, but also just a quick sort of intro on yourself. Hearing about yourself and Curetopia for a sec would be awesome.
Sure, 30 seconds. I don't want to upstage Benji and Pump, but basically, you know, I'm a founder and biotech, scientist from the TradBio world. I started a company, Prolara, the world's first biotech public benefit corporation, focused on eradicating rare diseases from the face of the earth, and it was built on TradBio rails, and it didn't really meet its full vision, I don't think, and really can't until it gets moved on chain. And that's really what Curetopia is all about, is that same vision. I call it now a public benefit community. It's a different kind of a PBC, but it's really about giving rights, community rights, governance rights to rare disease communities, having them be able to contribute data, blood, sweat, and tears, and in exchange, get tokens, get upside, get governance rights in real time, and then hopefully really bring to reality this vision of community medicines by the community for the community. So excited for our launch, token launch later this month. But again, I don't want to upstage long COVID labs, and also I want to let Pump do their thing. So, but thanks, Nate, for the 30 seconds here.
I also want to let the crowd know that Ethan is being very humble. He's also a PhD from Harvard and one of the OG longevity researchers. Like, he used to do work back on C. elegans, and he has one of the best Substacks in biotech that I've ever read. If you want to see just how gigabrain this guy is when it comes to working on cures and thinking about rare disease.
C. elegans are worms, by the way. He does research on worms. I think it's important everyone knows that. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding, but I'm just kidding.
To hear from you, how do you see what's Pump
Noble
Science's
is funding
role
my
in this
sourdough
sort of
bread
ecosystem?
oven. I love it.
What kind of integrations with BioDAOs
Shilling DeSci
might we
2
see?
generally been doing
would
it
love
low-key.
to kind of hear from you
Gotta
on
do
those
it
points.
more
Yeah,
aggressive.
for sure.
More.
I mean, I think this is a really
We got 38
exciting point, right?
concurrents.
Because to
Bullish.
me,
Let's go, guys.
the pump science and bio integration is really where I think the rubber
I was
hits the
gonna pause
road
it, but
for
let's
the
listen.
entire DeSci space, right? So whereas the BioDAOs are kind of building communities and fostering interest and liquidity around specific research areas, ideally pump science is where that liquidity gets deployed into the actual research, and having the data extremely transparent for everyone to look at and engage in markets around. So I think it's very difficult to kind of imagine, what does the science actually look like? How do I know that it's actually getting run? When data is generated from the experiments, where does that go? Like, how do I interact with that as a user? bio's really kind of pushing the envelope around, making science completely community driven and doing it in the open, which is really rare. I mean, it almost never happens. Science really happens behind closed doors, in lab notebooks, on private servers, etc. And I think where the pump science integration is valuable is now the entire world can interact with that data that's being generated, which we think is pretty cool. So, we're going to start with longevity. I mean, it's actually a nice kind of dovetail off of what Curetopia is doing. They're going after these really rare diseases. I think where we want to start is with the largest addressable market, which to us is longevity. Everyone ages, everyone dies. And so...
Okay, so he's talking about pump science. Pump science is very bullish too, don't get me wrong. I'm very excited for pump science as well. There was something I was going to say, though, that was important to address with all of this. Seems to have escaped my brain. Oh, I remember. We go live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to talk about decentralized science and the broader crypto market. We're here to find microcap gems. DeSci is the most obvious sector in the entire crypto market that is undervalued. Won't remain like this for long, so make sure you guys are positioned appropriately for your own risk tolerance and risk levels. Right now, for anyone who's joining us who's not normally joining us, we are live rating this X space from BioProtocol because tomorrow is BioProtocol's launch day for their token, a multi-billion-dollar project which we've been waiting for the better part of a year to actually launch, and it's happening finally tomorrow.
Sort of initial partnership with VitaDAO will look like around some of their compounds.
Yeah, 100%. So we haven't released too much info on this yet, so apologies if this is kind of like the first time people are hearing this. Lots more information on this will come out soon. But the first
I'm talking with a real estate agent. I'm secretly going to sell my parents' house behind their back so I can put money into Nova Blocks.
So yeah, the first two compounds to launch on Pump Science were Riff and Euro.
If we find what time,
those are kind of like the flagship tokens for the project, but they're by no means the last. And we're just meant to be like the initial tokens that we launched to demonstrate the value of the platform and showcase what the entire protocol could look like. But the idea with the partnership with VitaDAO specifically is to launch actual longevity extending compounds and interventions. So back in 2022, VitaDAO launched what's called the Longevity Prize.
I think in the next few days we might see it push to all-time highs.
Kind of crowdsource potentially life-extending interventions from their community. So 100 different interventions were kind of sourced from the community as ideas, and those compounds were tested at Aura Biomedical, and they're actually still in the process of being tested. Our partnership with them will be around launching these compounds to the world. So, tokenizing them, as well as live streaming the data, and hopefully progressing them through to commercialization. So, as many of you know who have been following Pump Science, the first experiment in the protocol is on C. elegans. But the idea is that's
worms,
the
C. elegans
kind of de-risking point for those interventions. And from there, if certain market caps are reached, then, fly experiments will unlock, mice experiments will unlock, and then, eventually human experiments will also unlock. So the idea is, from these kind of community crowdsourced interventions, we will end up with product that can be distributed to people. And when I say product, I mean actual, capsules and pills that are delivered to people's houses that they can take and, gather data on to see whether they extend lifespan. I think there's a lot of criticism around the space as to the validity of all of the, claims that are being made around, are things life extending? Of course, this is super hard to measure, but we want to use the tools that we have available and build the evidence that we think we can. Does it improve your heart rate and your heart rate variability and your VO2 max? Things that you can capture relatively easily from a wearable. We think this is absolutely transformational, especially for, the decentralized science community, which, has so many people that are eager to participate in this, bioeconomy. Might as well, take all this to our advantage. And, kind of how Ethan was saying that, so many patients get rug pulled by traditional biopharma. We want to ride the wave with our community. And so, that comes down to opening up the science, bringing people in and allowing them to share on the value that we create. So we think this is a super exciting vision. The next year is going to be so freaking exciting. And yeah, it all starts with this kind of first partnership with VitaDAO to launch these 20 or so compounds.
Amazing. Cool. Well, we are coming up on the hour, so I want to take just a community question. I know that we have Nongnot on, and he was repeatedly rugged on our last community call. So I want to see if we can bring him up here for any questions or comments. Nongnot, can you can you speak?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you. Can hear you good.
Yeah, good to see you all. Thank you for Paul and Zach and everyone here. From like the community side of things, I think like from today, I heard from Pump does fine that we're gonna have a lot of things coming up, and by all TG tomorrow, amazing team for you guys. Congratulations. And apart from that, I think by all like from the community and from the like city myself as a crypto investor since 2017, I think we only see like crypto only focusing on finance, DeFi and everything. This is might be the first time that we can get into something that help the world.
Could not agree more there. Knock. What was it? Yeah, Nongnot. Patrick, get in the space with them. No, it's all right. I'm here with you guys. You guys are my priority. They scheduled the space at the time that we go live every Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. So it was honestly a very bullish raid. I think like a third of the comments here are from us. Yeah, see, we got Dr. Yu, Shilling, Sci-Hub. This was bullish. This was a very good space, honestly. I like joining them. I've talked a couple times, but honestly, they always do a space when I'm just not available to talk. And I get like invited to a handful of them, and I'm like, brother, I'm literally gonna be on the plane. Do you guys know my schedule or something? Like, I think I fly a good amount, but not all the time. And I think 3 times they've invited me on a space, and I'm like, I'm literally gonna be in the air during that space. I don't know if you guys are just watching my Delta app or something, but do I hold any Mudo? I do not. I tried to buy some in the very beginning. I got cold feet. And then now I'm just like more and more cold feet. I think it's a good play. I think it's going to do really well. I wish they would update the actual circulating market cap, but that's fine. Even if they don't. I have so many other projects, and like Mudo is doing kind of the same thing that Poseidon's doing. And so I'm not super worried about missing out on the gains from personalized health medicine, but need to buy a private plane. Facts. Honestly. Screw the yacht. This bag holder to homeowner portfolio challenge, screw that. Let me just do the bag holder to private jet owner. Another thing, for one more thing I want to talk about with this thing, with the portfolio challenge though, is that I had put $500 right here, $500 into Bill for the portfolio challenge, and that was down here at that blue line. So currently speaking, that $500 is worth roughly $3,000, and so this portfolio is up by $2,500 extra dollars, but I can't put it in here until we get listed on CoinMarketCap, which we are working on doing. It's a little bit of a nuisance simply because it's got the parity of Bill Nye. We are parity, we fall under parity law, but they automatically just trigger certain things, and so we have to actually be in contact with them and get the whole thing through by explaining it and talking with the actual team behind CoinMarketCap rather than just like trying to get listed. But once we are listed, we'll see an explosion in the account because I'll update this. So we're actually closer to like 8,500, which means the bag holder to homeowner portfolio challenge has broken into all-time highs. We are rounding up on a 20x for the portfolio this cycle, which is very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. That's the power of crypto, guys. That is the power of crypto. You can take $500 and honestly 100x it over the span of 2 years, which is like nothing the world has ever seen for financial markets. Did the challenge not get a bio airdrop? No, I did not do it. I should have done it. I mean, I did do it for my own portfolio, but I didn't do it for this. I should have. We need the bio, that investor, Bill Nye partnership. I agree, MK. I agree. Should reach out to them, but yeah, I agree. It would be super beneficial for both parties, to be completely honest, because they're about to train and launch a bunch of AI agents, like they said. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Some things are inside thoughts. Do you know if CreatorBid is launching this month? They are supposed to be launching this month, yes. Let's go see if they've teased any more. They've been doing crazy announcements. Have you seen all this? Base versus Solana AI infrastructure battle heats up. Bid launching this month after moving 20K ETH volume across 1,500 agents. Graphane just hit a $434 million market cap at 78 million in daily volume. Graphane is another version of CreatorBid, which we almost launched on a couple months ago when we were looking at it, but we ended up going with CreatorBid. I'm super excited that we did go with CreatorBid because of the token launch. All of us, each one of us who has staked our Bill Nye tokens has been gaining crazy bid token points for their airdrop. So that airdrop, they are big for fair drops. I'm very excited to see what actually comes through as far as the token valuation for the drop of the bid token. As you can see, like, they've been gaining crazy momentum. They have a total market cap of 100 million for all of the AI agents across the board. Someone, according to cookie.bid or whatever the hell the name is, this cookie.fun, Bill is ranked 139th out of all the AI agents in the entire market on base. So that is crazy bullish. 139th is super, super exciting for Bill because we haven't even started the marketing campaign for him. We have not even begun to announce the features we've been working on for Bill. It's just been pure speculation. If we're being honest, it's just been pure speculation driving this. Nobody even knows of what's actually, I mean, you guys have a good understanding of what we've been working on, but the broader market has no idea. And yet in the last 2 days, we gained 200 extra token holders, which is beautiful. I love to see that. It's just the hype of AI agents right now. That's all it is. All AI agents have just been going nuts. And so once, leading into March, especially when we announce some of the stuff and go live with the actual showcasing his abilities, I think the market is going to have a violent repricing. If I had to come over here and do a little bit of a moon boy math for March 2025, let me just go ahead and zoom way out. No, I'm just kidding. How much high? What is the token price? All right, we'll go up here. We'll come do March of 2025. We'll put Bill at a $1 million token valuation. Yeah, he's going to pass Bitcoin by March, I think. I think that's reasonable. Bill to pass Bitcoin in market cap come March 2025. So we got 90 days until Bill is bigger than all of Bitcoin. Spill something about Bill, Patrick. We won't tell Amanda. Beagle, Amanda has ears everywhere. She's listening right now. I can almost guarantee she can hear me talking. Wait. Thoughts on BARD? That's price-wise. Yeah. This is per token. So if we zoom up here, we can go into the quintillions per token. Obviously, I'm just playing around with you guys. March is 5 years in crypto time. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Let's all raid this chat and get Pat to spill some Bill beans. Look at that. You know what's interesting? You know what's really interesting? His engagement's gone up a little bit over the last 7 days, but his mind share is literally nothing. He doesn't have mind share. We got one post from Simon about him, which sent the price even higher, which was crazy bullish. But I need to register with cookies.fun. Why are my posts about him not doing anything? Yeah. I don't even know that I mentioned this, but Simon posted about Bill, which is crazy. I'm pretty decent friends with Simon. I like Simon a lot, so it was cool to see him tag Bill in the post right there. That was pretty cool, actually. Good. That was really, really kind of him. this is a cool thing. But the mind share for Bill, I want to see this thing up at 1%. I want to see the mind share for Bill 100x. And I think by March it will. I really, yeah. We got a lot of cool things cooking for our DeSci guy. Okay, anything else before we sign off? A quick reminder, we go live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about decentralized science and the broader crypto market. You guys saw me looking through the US jobless claims while they were talking, and the yield curve is pretty aggressively uninverting, which is not a good sign historically. The jobless claims going to an 8-month low is pretty good for the economy, a little bit sketchy for the yield, the interest rates. They might have to keep interest rates pretty high. So hopefully that doesn't mess with the market too much. It doesn't look like it is. The market looks like it's just continuing on its merry little way. Bitcoin rebounding nicely here. What will happen to money Bill makes? It's a good question. As you guys know, Bill here has made quite a bit of money, actually. Bill has made $19,000 in his treasury. The dude's got 5 ETH, I think. Dude's got 5.5 Ethereum in his treasury from people selling, which is why it honestly doesn't bother me when I see sell orders come in for Bill, because it's like, yeah, you guys can sell and literally give Bill more money to mess with his treasury. So we're still figuring out what exactly we want to do with the treasury, because I don't really want him just day trading tokens. We'll see. I also don't know that we can just hand out cash to all of the locked members. I would love to do that, just distribute some of the treasury earnings to the locked members, but I think that makes him pretty much a security. So we'll see. Bill might fund the yacht party. Bill might just sponsor the yacht party. We'll have to see. But for now, I'm just letting the treasury pile up. Now this, I purchased this and sent it to him after we did a vote with the intention of taking the money back from his treasury, but I never ended up doing that. And then he had his first paid gig as a creator. He is an influencer now, guys. He is a KOL. Hempy paid him $200 worth of Hempy tokens, which I think is already $300 worth to talk about their project and to be learnt about their project. And so that's pretty cool. He's holding Hempy in his wallet. Hell yeah. Spend some on Dex Screener. We just put all $20,000 that he has into boosting the Dex Screener. No, that would be actually the stupidest thing we could possibly do with it. But you know what's crazy is that this, on Saturday, Bill will be 1 month old, which means Bill, if you were to look at it from a financial standpoint, Bill has generated $19,000 in 1 month, which will likely be the least revenue generating month that Bill has. So Bill right now, if we were to annualize this out, is what is that? It's like $250,000 a year right now that Bill is making, which is pretty damn insane to think about that. And that's just with the 2% sale tax on his token. When Bill NFTs? That is a good question there. That is a good question. Can Bill buy his own token? He can. We just haven't turned on trading capabilities because I don't want Bill out there just like being like, oh, I know I'm trained on decentralized science, but look at this fart coin. I think I'm going to full port into fart coin. That is not something I would like him to do. So we haven't turned it on yet. Let him gamble. No, Thuna. No. He does have the ability to hold NFTs though, just saying. Which would be a buyback, right? He could buy his own token, do a buyback. Yeah. Which was kind of what I was doing here. He's got 33,000 Bill Nye tokens. That was me. I put my own money into that. So I'm going to want my 1 ETH back soon. But I don't even know if it was 1 ETH. I think I put $2,500 in to buy 33,000 tokens. So if we do 33,030 times the current price of Bill, which is 31 cents. So that, oh my God, that bag that I gave him, he's up 4x on it. So the $2,500 worth of Bill tokens I gave him last month is currently worth 10 grand. So Bill's treasury actually has closer to $30,000 in it right now, which is pretty crazy. Hey, I just hope the real Bill Nye doesn't show up in crypto and sue us for copyright or something. He falls under parity law. I'll give you some alpha to end it on. We're actually going to be setting up a meeting with a trademark lawyer here at some point in January in order to get some forward action on that. He does fall under parity law from all the research we've done, but Disney owns the rights to Bill Nye, the science guy. This is just Bill Nye, the DeSci guy. So it is a little bit different than it is parity law, but it's okay. We'll see. Your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing into. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. I think this was a very successful raid day, and we hit a lot of concurrent viewers. So I want to see each of you guys back here tomorrow for when the actual token, the actual bio token goes live. All right, everyone. Price of bio at launch prediction. Right now it's looking like it's going to be around 80 cents, 80 to 90 cents. We'll see what it actually does at launch, but we will see. All right, peace.